Imagine this painful, familiar scene. You do everything absolutely right, based on generally accepted moral standards. You're extremely polite, incredibly responsive, always ready to help, even when it's inconvenient. You constantly say yes to any request and never cause problems. You're that good guy or trustworthy friend who can always be relied upon. But look at reality, at the dark truth you're afraid to admit. You see how the people you value, those whose affection and attention you truly value, invariably choose others. Those who are harsher, more demanding, who set boundaries, and who most often confidently say no to their requests. And you're left on the bench. You feel deeply betrayed and unfairly judged. Your mind, wired for the "you get what I get what you get" logic, screams in frustration, "I'm the most reliable, the kindest person, but why is my strongest trait my greatest weakness in relationships and communication?" You begin to doubt the very value of virtue. You're watching this video because you're looking for the key to this mystery that constantly sabotages your life. You're searching for the dark truth about what nonverbal, subconscious signal another person's brain is actually reading when you're trying so hard to be kind and helpful. You're searching for hidden power. Most people live with the dangerous belief that kindness is the most reliable and liquid currency in the world of relationships and attraction. They're wrong. Excessive, unconditional kindness is not a virtue. It's often just a fragile yet complex mask you wear to avoid the real world. The myth we're debunking: we're convinced by society that attraction and love are based on being helpful, on being as convenient and useful as possible. This is a lie. Attraction is based on authority, on the strength of your value system, not on your willingness to submit. For years, your thinking has been hammering home in you: the more I give and the less I demand, the more I'll be loved and appreciated. But in relationship psychology, this mechanism isn't called love, but ingratiation, bargaining, or buying attention. And you're constantly overpaying. We'll uncover the dark psychology of how your habit of immediate helpfulness instantly devalues your personality and kills your power and attraction. Your goal is to understand that not all emotions need to be pleasant to be effective. Insight number 1, the logic of resource: kindness as availability. Your brain, like everyone else's, unconsciously perceives kindness as a resource: time, attention, emotions, energy. The universal logic of attraction is this: the more accessible a resource is, the easier it is to obtain, the lower its value on the market. When you're always available, always responding immediately, always agreeing to someone else's terms, you send a clear, subconscious message: my resources are unlimited, my time is worthless, and accessing me requires no effort. You devalue yourself to the level of common property. Mini story: a woman with high inner value will never choose a man who drops everything important at her first call. She will choose a man whose time and space are precious, and whose attention she must make a conscious effort and respect to gain. Dark secret: your total availability becomes your most obvious weakness and an indicator of a lack of self-respect. Kindness without clear, unbreakable boundaries is not generosity, it is a strategic lack of boundaries and a willingness to exploit. Power and attraction are born not from convenient agreement, but from a confident, calm, yet completely polite refusal. You say no to external demands in order to say yes to your internal integrity. Insight number 2, emotional contract: agreement versus sovereignty. You use excessive kindness as a means to avoid conflict and as leverage to gain approval and love. This is your unconscious, emotional contract: I'll do you a favor, and you're obligated to give me love or at least respect in return. But love or respect bought with favors always feels like weakness and evokes intuitive rejection. Your psychology at this moment screams: I can't be my true self, I can't express my true emotions and thinking to be accepted. Example: when you smile even though you're uncomfortable. When you don't express your true emotions or objections so as not to upset the other person. With this act, you voluntarily give up your inner strength for the illusion of short-term peace and external approval. Gender dynamics: people, regardless of gender, respect and are attracted to those who are the sovereign source of meaning and confidence, not to those who are passive, accommodating recipients or reactions. Truth: respect and attraction don't come from what you do for people to earn their emotions. They come from what you allow them to do for you and how much effort they are willing to put in to reach your level. Insight number 3, value communication: the logic of the test. Excessive kindness and total agreement deprive your communication of the most important element: contrast and friction. You don't give the other person the opportunity to test you and understand how genuine you are. Your mind tries to be a flawless, gold standard, but a gold standard without silver and bronze for comparison loses its value. The human brain values what stands out, not what blends into the background. Example, when you always agree with all her ideas, you deprive her of the opportunity to see your confidence and your own thinking in action. True confidence is demonstrated by disagreement, expressed calmly, firmly, and without emotional aggression. Dark psychology, people, even unconsciously, constantly test the boundaries of others to determine how strong their framework is. Your absolute kindness and lack of refusal say, "I have no boundaries, I don't value myself enough to uphold them." The secret of attraction doesn't seek someone who is willing to die for it. It seeks someone who is willing to set the rules of the game, who is willing to leave if their framework is violated. This is the power of self-preservation. Mindset shift, from kindness to integrity. Stop being kind out of fear of rejection, conflict, or loss. Start being whole out of inner strength and confidence. Integrity is the ideal state when your thinking, your emotions, and your communication, your actions, are in complete, harmonious alignment. You say yes only when you truly want to, not because you have to. This is not a call to be angry or aggressive. It is a call to be sincere and authoritative. This means that your body and mind work as one, without internal conflict. Your brain must forever understand, refusal, a polite no, is not an act of aggression towards another. It is a fundamental act of self-affirmation and self-respect. Practice, value frame. Start small, develop the habit of saying a firm but polite no to meaningless requests that violate your frame or time. Begin to value your habits. Protect your time, your resources, your emotions, and your thinking from external intrusion. This is not selfishness. This is vital for self-respect and building your strength. When you set boundaries and defend them, you establish your value framework and teach others how to treat you. People won't respect what you don't value yourself. True kindness is always a choice based on an abundance of resources and strength, not on the fear of loss. Your kindness should be a gift, not the price of admission. Your power and attraction grow exponentially when you choose integrity and boundaries over helpfulness and being nice. You will no longer seek external approval in communication. You will generate it with your inner confidence. Final realization, your kindness wasn't your problem or your weakness. The problem was the weakness and insecurity that you instinctively and clumsily hid behind a mask of kindness to avoid rejection. Your mind must accept this dark truth. Attraction in relationships is always a search for strength, stability, and integrity. And you can't be strong if you're afraid to be authentic and afraid of conflict. Stop being kind out of fear. Be valuable out of confidence. The secret of attraction, become your own, unbreakable frame.